In the year 1692, the town of Salem awoke under a thick morning fog. Wooden houses stood silent, and the church bells echoed through the narrow streets. A chill lingered in the air, and an uneasy stillness blanketed the town. Fear had settled over Salem like a shadow, for whispers of witchcraft drifted among the townsfolk. The townsfolk moved carefully, glancing over their shoulders, speaking in hushed tones. Every look, every whisper carried suspicion. In Salem, fear spoke louder than reason, and rumor often became reality before truth could breathe. One elderly woman, Mrs. Putnam, had always lived on the outskirts of the town. Her garden, dense with twisted vines and strange herbs, had always been a place of curiosity. But recently her neighbors began to claim they saw lights dancing there at night. Shapes moved among her trees, and some swore they heard faint chants carried by the wind. That night the shadows seemed alive. In the town square, a black cat slinked silently across the cobblestones, its eyes glinting like embers. Candles flickered in empty homes, though no hand had touched them. A strange wind whispered through the streets, carrying with it a sense of foreboding that made even the bravest hearts falter. In their homes, many townsfolk could not sleep. They dreamt of fire and shadows, of figures dancing in circles and chanting words no one could understand. Abigail, a young girl of 16, lay in bed clutching her blanket, her mind filled with visions she could not explain. The fear was no longer outside. It had entered their very souls. By morning, the whispers had grown louder. In the town square, anxious faces gathered, eyes darting, fingers pointing. Names were spoken aloud, accusations flowing like a river. Fear had become action. Neighbors turned against neighbors. Innocent faces paled with dread as suspicion multiplied with every passing moment. Inside the town hall, tension thickened the air like smoke. Wooden benches creaked under the weight of fear and expectation. The judge, solemn and austere, presided over the proceedings. The accused stood silently, eyes wide with disbelief as the crowd watched, whispered, and judged. Every glance carried judgment. Every breath seemed heavy with accusation. Then it happened. A shadow flickered along the wall, forming shapes that seemed almost human. The townsfolk gasped in unison. Some tried to step back. Some clutched at their neighbors. The shadow moved with unnatural grace, lingering for a heartbeat before vanishing as if it had never been there. The fear of the supernatural was no longer imagined. It was palpable, undeniable. Chaos erupted. Accusations flew faster than reason. Chairs toppled, voices shouted, and panic filled the hall. Abigail, who had come to testify, realized in horror that she might have been wrong. She tried to speak, but her words were drowned in the din of hysteria and fear. Reason had been silenced by terror. In the following days, the town was a mixture of relief and lingering dread. Those who had been accused were slowly released, their innocence restored. Yet the memories of the accusations, the fear, and the shadows remained. Salem tried to return to normal, but a subtle tension lingered in every glance and every whisper. Abigail, reflecting on the events, realized how quickly fear could grow in the hearts of people, how easily the line between truth and rumor could blur. She walked past the empty gardens, the flickering lanterns, and the quiet streets, understanding that history does not forget the terror that once gripped a town, nor the courage of those who survived it. Years would pass, and Salem would tell its story. Children would hear of the shadows that haunted the town, of neighbors who turned against one another, and of the lessons learned in the fire of fear. The town resumed its daily life, but shadows of fear remained in corners and alleys, whispers of what had been. History remembers both the terror and the survival, and sometimes the shadows never truly fade. And so the town of Salem stands today, a testament to the resilience of human spirit, a reminder that fear can consume even the strongest, but truth and reflection endure beyond the darkest shadows.